Red Rising. This is your review for 2. Good day, my name is Joe Gerba. Today I'll be going over Red Rising and how it plays with 2 players. Now Red Rising is a 1 to 6 player game where you'll have these factions and these characters from the Red Rising universe that you'll be manipulating, trying to get in your hand, so at the end of the game you have the most points. So let's see a little bit more how to play. So in Red Rising, the one with the most points will win the game at the end, and you get points by having stuff in the Institute, having stuff on the fleet track, having stuff in your hand, victory points in your hand, the best court that you can. The game will end when all 3 are met, or 2 are met by 1 person. Fleet track reaches 7 cubes on the Institute, or you have 7 of these helium tokens. So at the start of the game, you're going to have 5 cards in your hand, and you're going to play on your turn. You're going to play these cards in one of these 4 kind of columns: Jupiter, Mars, Luna, or the Institute. And when you play it in that one, you can pick one of the other 3 to choose a card from to pick up and put in your hand. When you do, you'll get the bonus of the place you picked up. So in Jupiter, you're going to advance the fleet track. Mars, you're going to get a helium token. Luna, you're going to get the sovereign token, which is activate your special ability of the faction that you're representing. In the Institute, you get one of these cubes in the Institute. A lot of these cards will have deploy actions, so when you put it down, you get to do what's in the bottom of the card. Some will have blocking actions, so the opponent can't take any of your cards. But a lot of them you want to collect for the points at the top left. Not only the points at the top left, at the end of the game, they're going to score extra points. So it's kind of a set collection. You want to see how you can maximize your points at the end of the game. And like I said, whoever has the most points at the end wins the game. So let's see a little bit more what I thought about the game. So the components in this game, I really like the components. They give you a whole bunch of different colors for the different factions. They give you these nice cardboard for the factions. Plenty of reference sheets. This is great because this game is very simple, but it's also simple to get back to the table, probably due to these reference sheets. Easy setup, easy end of game, turn overview, just a easy to pick back up game due to the reference sheets. Components give you a lot of cards and everything looks really nice. Let's talk about setup and table size. Setup, also very easy. You deal 8 cards out here, 2 to each of the locations, 5 cards to each player. Put your ships on the fleet track, and you're pretty much set up. Very easy to get back to the table. Table size definitely can be played on a 3x3. So let's talk about the gameplay really quick. The gameplay has its hits and misses. It's really neat to put down a card, combo it up, use its deploy ability, be able to do something else, choose which one of the 3 cards, or do you delve off the top of the deck to try to get it, but you don't know the outcome all the time. It's a really neat set collection in your hand. It does kind of stink if somebody takes a card from you and then you're stuck with 4, because these are your main scoring mechanics. I think I've scored over 200 points just in cards and points at the end. So it kind of there's a couple feels bad moments. There's a couple of these cards where you need to see a certain card come out to be paired with it to get the maximum benefit. However, to me, this has the Everdell syndrome. His deck is huge, and for a 2-player game, you just don't see enough cards. I bet this universe is probably awesome to play in. This looks like a great, actually cool book to read from just these characters and the representations, but you just don't see enough of these to really get your teeth into the game. But it has so many good components, a balance between the Institute, the fleet track, very easy to get to the table. The gameplay itself is very nice and smooth, just an amazing, flowing game. You just don't quite feel like you get to maximize. Even some of the ones that are like score points if you have a blue in your hand. Well, there was a game where there wasn't even a blue that came off in the starting cards in anyone's hand, or even the top couple cards of the deck. And so that's kind of a problem for me, is it's very unpredictable kind of what's coming out. So if you like a little bit more randomness, if you don't want to see all the cards, then this game might be for you. So let's talk about the replayability. The replayability is pretty good. I mean, look at all these cards. Definitely, you're not going to see all the same cards every time. Sometimes you do kind of need to know a little bit what some of these cards do because they're stuck under other cards. So you may have to lift it up, kind of read it, and then put it back down to see if you need to start uncovering that to get it into your hand. But the replayability, I'd say, is pretty good. And for probably more than 2 players, this game will play just as quickly and as fast. So in the end, is this game good for 2? There was things I like about this game, but it just didn't quite hit for me. It still had that kind of, well, I hope my cards are out there that I need, or in the first couple decks, there's only so much crafting of the hand you can do. And if you don't have a blocker and you have to, trash a card and your opponent happens to have 6 cards and you have 4, the game's over, probably. Just the points disparity and the points you build up in the cards just kind of dictate the game. So I wish there was a way to kind of pilfer a little bit more of the cards, kind of see more of them out there for 2 players. But in 2 players, you don't get a whole bunch of turnover. Now, what I did like about this game is I can see this at higher player counts just being a nice, quick game. You play your card, you do your deploy, you pick up one of the other ones, you put either a token, advance the fleet track, or get a helium. It's very quick and easy. I can see those going round and round, but for 2, very fast going back and forth, but you just don't quite get the breadth of the game that I think was intended. So it's a good game. I can't recommend this game for 2 players. So hope you guys enjoyed the review, and until next time.